Hi, welcome to Theater Crafts, where we take theater memorabilia and make brand new treasures. So today's project is one that I've been wanting to do for a long time. In my kitchen, I often will have, those cardboard containers that have, oatmeal in them or breadcrumbs, that kind of stuff. Well, I've been saving them because I thought that would be a really great container for, I don't know, theater memorabilia. And so this is the container. It has a cover on it, and I've taken theater posters or theater programs and created a really cool treasure chest. We got this one here. It's like a treasure box. You can see all the different shows that are on there. And then this is the one that we're going to make today. And again, look at all the different shows that are depicted on there. Now, you don't have to do musical programs, obviously. You could do any sort of images on here. So today I'm going to show you how to make these treasure boxes with recycled objects. All right, let's get crafting. Okay, so let's take a look at these a little bit more closely. So let me pull this one aside. These are standard just cardboard containers. In this particular case, I think they had breadcrumbs in them, but you can get them with oatmeal. There are all sorts of kitchen staples that come in these, cardboard containers, but you could use any cardboard box, honestly. So if you see here, I chose in this one kind of colors that seem to go together. You see the Outsiders, we see Hadestown, there's Suffs, this is Sweeney Todd, this is Harry Potter. And so I cut images right from the program, and I painted the base, added some trim here that kind of went along with the colors that were in the images. And then this one here, you see I kind of decided to go a different color scheme here. So you see I've got, Wicked, I've got Lion King, Kimberly Akimbo, This Has Come From Away, there's MJ the Musical, Aladdin. So we've got a variety of different shows listed here as well. And then just added trim again for, to pull the colors out that were in the images. And then I thought it would be really fun for this one to add just kind of a couple of playbills around the top there. So, so let me clear this, and I'll show you the materials for today. So in this version, I thought I would go, you see a color scheme going on here. I chose the Once Upon a Mattress. I've got the Company, Six, and SpongeBob. I've got kind of a similar color going on. I've got this is an oats container. And so I'm going to use that as my base. And then you need obviously scissors or something to cut. Sorry, my camera just fell there. So something to cut. I've got a little cutting board here, so I'm going to use that. Obviously, hot glue gun and glue sticks. Any embellishments that you want, and I've picked out a variety of embellishments here that I'm going to play with. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use yet, but I picked out a bunch of colors that would go along with the different programs that we have. And then I also am going to, sorry, my camera keeps dropping. I need obviously paint. I think I'm going to go with a metallic paint to paint the background of the container. So let me clear things and then we'll get started. So first, you just want to take the cover off of the container here. I'm just using a straight edge, and see if I can get that off. Sometimes it can be, if you get it right where it's glued, it can be persnickety. There we go. Okay. And then got that right off. And most of this is going to be covered, so we're probably okay. And you just want to make sure that you wipe that out inside, just so that it's nice and clean. Be careful, it is cardboard, so you don't want to do too much. All right, so next we're going to paint. Now on the others, I did Like this one, I did a blue background, and it's just basically the foundation. On this one, I did a black, a tan background, and then I added, this is actually vinyl, the sticky back vinyl. So you can do certainly any color. It just becomes your background. And in this particular case, I'm going to do probably 2 coats just to make sure that everything is really covered. But again, it's just the background, and it's going to, a lot of it's going to be covered up. So, so I'm just going to, you know how to paint. You don't need to sit and watch me paint. So I'm going to do 2 coats, and when that's dry, I will come back and I'll show you the next part. While we're waiting for the paint to dry, I thought I'd cut my images. So I just want to show, like on this one here, the images are, I cut them a little bit wider, and I thought it was easier to see the, the show that it's from. On this one, I cut the images a little bit more narrow, and that was just a design choice. You can mix it up even and make it whatever suits your design aesthetic. So this one, so I've got my little board here, and I'm literally just going to cut them, I don't know, maybe 1 centimeter, and just keep cutting. I think that's what I'm going to do for this one. But like I said, you can do whatever suits your particular design aesthetic. And you can cut these with scissors too. I just, and you can make them wonky. That would be actually kind of cool if you kind of did them, a little bit kind of curvy. That would be a really cool design element. So I'm going to cut out the images from my programs, and we'll be back. All right, so my paint has dried. I did 2 coats on it, and I think it looks pretty good. So again, that's just the base, so nothing to worry about there if it is not full coverage. I've cut all of my programs, and I cut them in random sizes. I decided to kind of make some of them a little bit wider. I also found Aladdin has similar colors, so I cut some Aladdin, and I've got the others that I cut as well. And I happen to have this piece of, it's this like scrap piece of leather, and I thought that might be kind of cool to put at the top here. So what I've done is I've actually, I don't know, you can probably barely see it. I've just taken a pencil line just so that I know kind of where the bottom of this will be, so that I can place the images kind of properly. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the images, and if you remember on the others, I did them kind of diagonal. See that? So I'm going to do the same thing with these. So I'm going to take them, and it's going to be totally random, like kind of diagonal. And on the bottom here, I'm going to put some trim on the bottom, so I'm not going to worry that it's not going all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to use like a Mod Podge on this and just kind of put a light layer. I found that it did on my other examples here. There was a little bit of buckling, a little bit of wrinkling, but I kind of like that. It to me it looks kind of gives it some character. So so I'm going to start just kind of laying them out. So I have gone all the way around with the different images from the playbills. And notice some of them are longer, you know, like down here. I'll just trim those off when it dries. So I'm gonna let this dry. And so if you noticed, I put just kind of a rim of the glue on there, then put the image on top, and then I put the glue on top of it as well, just to seal it, so that, you know, you can wipe it and whatever. So there we go. I love the colors. I love the different images that are on there. So what I'm going to do is let this dry, and I'll come back and we'll continue. So everything is dried, and I've cut off the top and the bottom of the extra pieces, and I'm not worried if there are pieces that are kind of not adhered, because we're going to cover that anyway, and we'll do that with a hot glue gun with trim. Now, I thought it would be kind of cool. I love the colors, and I love how the colors kind of blend together. And I just want to mention that I just used a craft paint, metallic paint on the bottom, just a paint that I had in my stash. But then it occurred to me that it would be kind of fun to add kind of this glaze on top. And so I'm going to add the glaze, and we'll give it a little bit of a shimmer. And so I thought that might be kind of a fun kind of way to kind of bring all of the different images together, give them kind of a unified look. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this paint over the top, and then I'll let that dry as well. And it's just going to give it a little bit of a shimmer. You see here some of the wrinkles in the paper. That kind of doesn't, like I said, doesn't bother me in this particular case, because part of it's, you see, it's the ridge on the cardboard. I had kind of a continuous kind of wrinkle there, but I actually kind of like that it gives it a little bit of a kind of a handmade look, and I like that. The other thing about these too, look at how shimmery, I don't know if you can see that, it looks really shimmery. The thing about this too is it's a great way to keep, you know, like maybe if you have a big theater weekend, maybe you go to New York and you see a bunch of shows, and you do, you know, a kind of a keepsake box with the memorabilia from that weekend. That would be really cool. Or you could do, if you're in a show, you could take the programs or the poster and do just kind of a memorabilia box. You could put show tickets in this from all different shows. You know, there's so many different ways that you can use something like this. I think I might use it for, you know, pencils for rehearsal, or, you know, something like that. So I love that you can just take, I'm a big fan of recycling materials, things that you have around the house, and being able to take them and repurpose them. It's kind of the whole reason for this channel, because I like to do that, and making it theater related is even better. So I'm going to finish painting all of this kind of glaze on top, and then let it dry, and I'll come back. All right, so this is just about dry. I don't know if you can see the sheen on it. I think it looks really pretty. It has kind of pulled the different images together because of the way the sheen is kind of consistent between them. So now really it's all about decorating. And like I said, I'm going to take this, I had this piece of suede that was from a project that I had done years ago, and I kept it because, you know, it's suede, and purple's my favorite color, and so I just thought it would be really kind of fun, and it happens to be perfect size to go around here. So I thought, wow, that's gonna work. And so I'm gonna put this on the top here, and that's why I did get a little bit of it's not quite dry there, but that's why we pulled these down a little bit. And then I'm going to put another trim around the bottom. So I'm going to glue this on the top, and then I will come back and I'll show you what it looks like. So I have gone all the way around, and just with a glue gun, a hot glue gun, just glued this down. This is the reverse side is leather. I decided to show the suede side up. I just like the way that it complements the sparkle in the images. So I thought, like, I've got a variety of trims here. I had this trim, and I thought maybe I would do this trim just to kind of cover the bottom there. You know, in case there are a couple, like you can see here, it's not quite at the base there. So I thought that would do kind of a nice job of covering that and give it a little bit of kind of fun glam. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to do the same exact process. I'm just going to start right where it was here, and go around and glue this down. And again, these were trims that I happen to have in my stash, but you could do ribbon, you could do you know, scrapbooking paper, anything that you have in your particular craft supply would certainly work. And you know, you can make it whatever kind of style that you want. So I'm going to do this all the way around and I'll show you what it looks like. Look how cute that is. I love it. I love that it covers just the end of the bottom of the suede piece. So now on here, I have this ribbon. I actually have a whole bunch of it in my stash, and I thought I would take and put this along the bottom. I think I'm going to do 2 rows of it, or maybe 1 row, because I'd like to put, I have this trim here. Maybe I'll just do 1 row and then the trim above it, just to cover where it's not meeting at the bottom. Again, just covering up the elements that we want to cover up. So again, doing exactly the same thing. I'm going to keep it pretty close to the bottom, maybe 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. And I'm going to glue all the way around. Just like that. All right, and I'm going to do that, and I will come back and I'll show you what it looks like. And there it is on the bottom right there. And like I said, it's because these pieces were not long enough, it didn't go all the way to the bottom. So now I'm going to cover that with this trim. So that'll just add a little bit to that. So I'm going to take this same thing, just using the hot glue gun, and I'm just going to overlap it just a little bit. Again, this is trim that I happen to have in my sewing stash, and so I might as well use what I got and kind of embellish this really cute treasure bin that we're making, just like that. All right, so I'll finish that up and let's show you what it looks like. There we go, all along the bottom. Now I actually like this so much, I'm going to put it around the top as well, but I think I'm going to do in the middle here, only because I don't want it to interfere with the lid going on. When you're putting the lid on, I don't want that to interfere. Now I could, and I did this with the others, I could make sure that it's down far enough. If you notice with the others here, I did make sure that the trim was down far enough so that it didn't interfere. So I could do that, you know, as long as you're aware of the, you know, the placement. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll put it right up there, and it kind of mirrors the bottom a little bit. All right, so again, going to do that. I'm just going to put a bead of glue and just let that, isn't that great? And this is a great way to use up extra trim if you've got small amounts of trim, which is what this is for me. You know, they're from different projects that I've done, and I have a small amount. It's not enough to do like a full dress or something, for costumes, so it's great to be able to use this for another project. So I'm gonna go around, I'll finish this up, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So I've got the trim all taken care of up there. And then I thought, ooh, let's kind of glitz this up a little bit. I've got a bunch of just rhinestones, regular rhinestones, and I thought it would be really fun to put rhinestones in between the bottom there. I'm gonna pull out some more, so I got lots of the same size. I've got a rhinestone picker. Oops, I just dropped rhinestone on the floor. I've got a rhinestone picker here. And so what I'll do is I think I'm going to put rhinestones in between, down in between each of these florets. just add some visual interest. So literally just putting a dab of glue, grabbing a rhinestone, my jewel picker, and gluing that down. Now, because it's on suede, I think the hot glue gun will probably be okay. You could also use like an E6000 or something like that if you're worried about it coming undone. It's not gonna be like outside or anything, so it's probably gonna be on my desk. And so I think I'll be okay with what I've got. So I'm just going to, cute, get rid of the glue globs. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that all the way around. And then I think I might also take some of the smaller ones and just put some rhinestones. Like there are places where, like in the SpongeBob, you could put them in there on the stars, just to kind of make it a little bit sparkly. All right, so I'm going to finish the top here and then I'll be back. And all of the jewels are on, and then I added some where it just seemed to kind of make sense in the images below here. And I made these are smaller than the ones up at the top here, and totally random where I chose to put them, just to kind of tie in the jewels up here to the jewel, to down here, and it's got that kind of sparkle too. Then I thought this is maybe a little overkill, but I had this little pom-pom, and I thought, ooh, I think I'm going to add this. Got a little tag on the back here. I think I'm going to add it to the back of the, right where the seam is here, just to cover up that seam, and literally just going to put some glue right on the back there and plop that right there. I could even put some of the rhinestones in there too if I wanted to, but I think that's really fun. So I think I'm gonna call this one done. I think this is so cute. What a great way to reuse just a cardboard container that you have in your recycle bin, and then using programs that mean something to you, and decorate them in a way that you can now use it as a really fun theater storage container for some of your treasures. So here they all are. You can see totally different styles, and yet they all have kind of a really fun theater kind of flair to them. So thank you for joining me for this week's theater craft, and I will see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.